Number 1, if you see a right triangle, you're going to do Pythagorean theorem. It says Natasha walked from the library to the grocery store, then to her house. The diagram shows the top view of these locations, which measurement is closest to the shortest distance from her house to the library. So here's her house, here's the library. They're wanting this right here, which has to be side what? C, because it's across from the right angle. So you write a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Then you fill in. You pick which one you want to be A or B, but the C you don't get to pick. So I'm just going to put this is A, this is B, but again, it doesn't matter. So I have 1.7 squared plus 0.9 squared equals C squared. If I'm solving for C, do I add or subtract? I add. So in my calculator, I'm going to put in 1.7 squared plus 0.9 squared. Is that my answer, or do I have to square root it? I have to square root it. So the square root of 3.7 is 1.92. So which answer is closest? B. Number 2, the dimensions of a rectangular piece of paper. What do you think I should go draw? A rectangle are 8.5 by 11 inches. So here I have a piece of paper, and it just told me they are 8.5 by 11. Veronica folded the piece of paper along its, look at this clue word right here. What did they just say? Diagonal. That's the C in a right triangle. So if I fold this piece of paper diagonally, what did it just make? A right triangle. Yes? So right here is a right angle. It said which measurement is closest to the diagonal. What side is that? A, B, or C? C. So I'm going to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Where I'm solving for C, it doesn't matter which side I choose for A or B. So I'm going to do 8.5 squared plus 11 squared equals C squared. Am I going to add because I'm solving for C, or subtract? Add. I don't see everybody's eyes paying attention and writing what I'm writing. So I'm going to do 8.5 squared plus 11 squared, which is 193.25. Is that my answer, or do I have to square root it? So I have to square root 193.25. which is 13.9. So the answer was J. Number 3, which measurements could not represent a right triangle? We're still doing Pythagorean theorem. So all we're saying is it true or is it not true? And I'm looking for the one that's not true. So on A, I would say is 6 squared plus 8 squared equal to what? 10 squared. And all I'm doing is checking to see if it's true or not. So I would say is 6 squared plus 8 squared equal to 10 squared. Is that true or not true? That's true. I'm looking for the one that's what? Not true. All right, so B, I would say, is 12 squared plus 35 squared equal to 37 squared. And I just got to go test it out. There's 12 squared plus 35 squared, and 37 squared is the same thing. So that is true. That would make a right triangle. So C is 4 squared plus 6 squared equal to 10 squared. Is that one true? No. So that would not form a right triangle. We were looking for the one that would not. Okay, turn the page. Number 4. If it asks for the length or the diagonal, you're doing Pythagorean theorem. This is the one where you had to draw your own right triangle. So right here, you could have either gone up and gone this way, or you could go down, and either way, you're going to get the exact same answer. You are solving for side what? C. Okay, so you had to count. This side is 1, 2, 3 units, and this side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. I don't know why I don't see everybody writing with me. Okay, so I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. Am I adding or subtracting? Adding. 3 squared plus 5 squared is 34. Is that my answer? No, you have to square root it, which is 5.83. So the answer was A. Okay, number 5. What did we learn? The two smaller squares add up to equal the bigger square. So I could say x plus y equals what? Z. And remember I taught you all fact families. What is the other fact family? Z minus equals x, or z minus x equals y. Those are all fact families. So it says which statement is true. The number of tiles needed to cover x is the same as the number of tiles needed to cover y and z. No. That's saying y plus z equals x, and that is not true. G, the number of tiles needed to cover y, is y the biggest one? No. Is the same as needed to cover x and z? No. H, the number of tiles needed to cover z, is z the biggest one? Yes. Is the same as the number of tiles needed to cover both x and y. So that's saying x plus y equals z, and that is true. Number 6. What am I going to do? Quickly, what am I going to do? Pythagorean theorem. Where's side C? Across from the right angle. So I'm doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to say a is 12. I don't know b, but c is 39. So question, am I going to add or am I going to subtract? Why? They gave me c. I cannot add. So I'm going to do 39 squared minus 12 squared, which is 1377. Is that my answer, or do I have to square root it? So the square root of 1377 is 37. So the answer was F. Again, you have a CBA over this Wednesday. You need to make sure you're doing this in understanding. Number 7. Remember I told you they're going to give you too many pictures. So look at the answer choices. What are they all talking about? The value of, where is x in this picture? So you did not need these pictures, correct? Yes or no? All right, so now x is either 80, because they gave me 80, or I have to subtract. So all I have to see is it in the same spot? So x and this are the same. Do y'all agree? And this is also the same. So is it the same as 80? Yes or no? So x equals 80. Do I care about the reasoning? No. Which one says x is 80? D. Number 8, the length of a rectangular frame, what should I draw? A rectangle, is 15 by 8. What is the length of the diagonal? So I draw a diagonal, and what did I just make? 2 right triangles. Here's my right angle, so this must be side C. So I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. Am I going to add or subtract? Add. So I'm going to do 8 squared plus 15 squared. Is that my answer? No, I must square root it, and the answer is 17. So that one would be a griddable. Remember, if you have to put a decimal, it goes in front of the decimal. Okay, turn the page. Number 9 says a group of 3 squares is shown in the diagram. Which statement is true? So we want to know, everybody look at the answer choices. Could they be joined to make a right triangle? So all you're going to do is say, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared true? So you have to count and see. What's the side length right here? How many units is this? 3. 9 would be the area of it. How many units is this? 4. And how many is this? 5. So you're going to say, is 3 squared plus 4 squared equal 5 squared? And that's actually a famous right triangle of 3, 4, 5. So the answer is going to be yes, but let's go check it. 3 squared plus 4 squared inner, is it equal to 5 squared? Yes or no? Yes. So which answer says they would form a right triangle? So A says they cannot. So no. B says they cannot. So no. C says they can, and D says they can. Now we got to see which one says it correctly. It says, because from smaller to larger, they are 1 unit bigger. I don't even know what that means. Let's read D. Because the sum of the squares that form the legs equals the squares that form the hypotenuse. Yes. Number 10. They already drew the triangle. All you had to do was count and solve. So we're looking for side C, which is right here. So you had to count from R to Q was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. From R to P was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units. So you're doing 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. Am I adding or subtracting? Adding. 5 squared plus 12 squared. Is that my answer? Nope. I got to square root it, and the answer was 13. I need y'all to follow along quickly because I'm moving fast. Okay, next question. We actually did this one on our notes one day. It says, which 3 squares do not support this statement? What did I tell y'all? If it says this centimeter squared, it's already what? Squared. So this one would be, is 3 squared plus 4 squared equal to 25? I don't square 25 because it's already squared. This one was true. I'm looking for the one that is not true. So this one is 9 squared plus, is this one already squared? Yep, so 144 equals 21 squared. We got to see if it's true. Oops. Was that one true? No. So that was my answer. It was not true. Number 12, what am I solving for? Side what? C. So I do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 26 squared plus 19.5 squared equals c squared. Do I add or subtract? Add. 26 squared plus 19.5 squared, and then I square root my answer. And that's my answer, 32.5. Okay, last page. On number 13, what does every answer choice ask about? The value of what? The value of x. Find the picture with x. That means you do not need the other pictures, correct? So I'm going to zoom in. Everybody look. X is either 75 or I need to subtract from 180. So this and this have the same value. And this are all the same. So is x 75 or do I need to subtract? X is 75. Let me explain again. Do y'all see how x is in the exact same spot as 75? They are the same. So which one says x is 75? F. Okay, then the last question, number 14. What is every answer choice talking about? The value of A. Which picture has A in it? Right here. So I do not need these pictures. We learned that the exterior angle theorem says that these two values add up to equal A. So what is 53 plus 65? 118 is the value of A. So the answer was D. You are now going to go into the Google Classroom and submit your answers.